On April 23, 1967, Soviet cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov climbed into a spacecraft he already knew would kill him. He called it a suicide mission, and yet he flew anyway. What followed was one of the darkest, most haunting chapters in the history of space exploration. A story of politics, lies, and the death of a man some believe was murdered by his own government. This is the story of Soyuz 1. Vladimir Komarov wasn't just another pilot. He was one of the Soviet Union's brightest stars. A skilled test pilot, engineer, and national hero.
Science has broken the chains that for centuries shackled humans to the planet Earth. Yuri Gagarin circles the Earth 3 times at a height of 100 miles and a speed of 18,000 miles an hour.
After Yuri Gagarin became the first man in space in 1961, Komarov was selected to carry the next generation of Soviet spacecraft, the Soyuz. But behind the propaganda, something was deeply wrong. The Soyuz was rushed. The spacecraft had been plagued with design flaws, technical issues, and repeated test failures. Engineers warned it wasn't ready. Yet the Kremlin wanted a victory, no matter the cost. According to reports later revealed, Komarov told friends, including Yuri Gagarin himself, that he expected to die on the mission. He allegedly said, "I don't want to go, but I don't have a choice." The reason? If Komarov refused, his backup would take his place. That backup was Gagarin, the first man in space, beloved across the Soviet Union. Komarov knew that if he stepped down, Gagarin would die instead. So he chose to go, knowing the odds were stacked against him. One engineer later described it as not bravery, but as a state-sanctioned sacrifice. The system demanded a hero, and Komarov became the offering. Soyuz 1 launched on April 23, 1967. Almost immediately, problems emerged. One of the solar panels failed to deploy, leaving the spacecraft crippled. Electrical systems faltered. Navigation was unstable. Komarov fought to keep control, but the mission was doomed from the start. For hours, he orbited Earth in a failing capsule, fully aware that he may never make it back. On April 24th, Soyuz 1 re-entered the atmosphere. The parachutes deployed, but tangled. Instead of slowing, the spacecraft plummeted. Komarov's capsule slammed into the ground at over 140 kilometers per hour. He was killed instantly. When rescuers arrived, they found little left. The capsule had disintegrated, leaving a twisted mass of metal and ash. Komarov's remains were unrecognizable, cremated by the crash and the fire. And yet, instead of mourning, the Soviet state turned his death into propaganda. He was hailed as a hero, given a lavish funeral, and buried with honors. But behind closed doors, whispers grew louder. Engineers had warned about Soyuz 1. Officials knew it wasn't ready, and Komarov himself had predicted his death. So was it really an accident? Or was it murder? Not by a bullet, but by bureaucracy. Today, many historians see Soyuz 1 as a tragic failure of politics over science. But others call it what Komarov himself allegedly did, a suicide mission. Some even call it state-sponsored murder. What we do know is this: Komarov went into space knowing he would not return. He did it to save a friend, to protect a symbol, and perhaps to buy the Soviet program time. Vladimir Komarov didn't just die in space. He was sacrificed for it. The death of Vladimir Komarov is more than just a space disaster. It's a story of human courage and political indifference. A reminder that in the race for the stars, some were forced to pay with their lives. Was Komarov a hero or a victim? Perhaps he was both.